Hi, I'm George, TSG's HPI Product Manager. In this demo, I'm going to show how we can use HPI in an insurance scenario to manage policies and claims. So here I'm just going to log into HPI and I'm going to jump over to the search and I'm going to say that I'm in the insurance department and I'm looking for a policy that contains 1-2 in the policy number. So I execute this search, I see a number of policies that come back. As with always in HPI, I can click on the columns to reorder them. I can rearrange the columns if I like, and I can also filter on anything in the table. So if I type 2014 here, it's going to find all policies in that policy year. So this top one here is the one that I'm interested in, so I'm going to go ahead and click it, and that takes me into the policy folder. Where depending on my security set, I have some actions that I can execute on the folder. But let's say for this, I just want to go in and look at the policy contract. So when I click that, I can view the policy contract PDF, and I have some actions that I can execute on the policy. Like for example, I can view properties of it. If I have the right permissions, I can make changes. And one of the common scenarios that we see with our clients is they want to be able to see related information very quickly. So in a insurance scenario, very typically related to the policy, we want to see the claims that were opened on that policy. So we can do that right here. We have a related claims section where I can see the related claims. And let's, for example, say that for this claim that was opened, I want to take a look at one of the policy reports. I can actually do that in a side-by-side view. So I can look at the loss report and the policy contract at the same time, which is a common scenario in the insurance world. Additionally, I can go directly to the claim folder. So I can click on the link here, and now I'm taken to this claim folder where I can execute actions on the claim. But I have a nice link back to the policy as well. And as I've been going through this, you can also see if there are other related policies, like potentially for prior policy years, I can relate those as well. So another common scenario is, say for this claim, it was just recently opened, and I want to get some documents into the folder, the claim folder. So the simple example here is that I just have a PDF on my local desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag that into the folder and get it into this claim folder. So what I'm going to do here is click on the Add Documents, and I can search for a document, or I can very quickly just pull it up in my Explorer here, and I can just find the one I want and just drag it in. Now, one of the really nice things that HPI does is it automatically pulls off properties from the folder and pre-populates them here on the document. So I don't need to re-key in the claim number, examiner name, all of that stuff that's already on the folder. We just have directly available right here. I'm going to tag this as a report. So I'll go ahead and just do that. And now I'm going to submit it. So this will upload the document, and we can see here now I have a reports folder, and when I click on it, here's my loss report that I can view in the system. Another common scenario is that I've been emailed a document. So if I open up Outlook here, I see that I have an email here with a loss report attached. So I really want to do two things. I want to get this email into the claim folder as well as the loss report. So I can do that by taking this email and dragging it to my folder, which creates an MSG file. And now here in HPI, I can add that MSG, again, like we did before. I'm going to classify it as a claims email message. And again, we pull off the relevant metadata. And I'm going to tag this one as correspondence. So now I'll go ahead and submit that. So this is actually going to do a couple things. It's going to import the email into the system. It's also going to create a PDF rendition of the email for quick viewing of the email itself. And then it's also going to pull off the attachment as a separate document in the folder. So if we look over here, we see that I have a correspondence folder now since I tagged it as correspondence. and we see our email in the system. So I'm going to go ahead here and just click on it, and now I see my email in a nice PDF view, and I see the attachments here that popped up because I'm viewing this email, and I can even side-by-side view the email with the attached document. If there had been more than one attachment, then of course I would see multiple attachments here. So another example, again, is if we wanted to if we had multiple documents. You notice here I had a few in here. So let's say we want to do a few at once. I can just very easily grab two, say here, and drag them over. And now I can tag them individually. We'll call both of these reports. And now I'm going to upload two documents at once into the folder. So now that I've done that, I then see these in here again as reports, and I can click on them and view them side by side, however I like to see them. Another common scenario for getting documents into the folder is scanning. So let's say that there was a subpoena that was physically mailed to me, and I have the piece of paper in my hand here, and I want to go ahead and put that piece of paper into this folder. So if it's enabled in HPI, one of the options here is to scan a document. So when I go ahead and click that, it's going to flip the view to this view here, and I have just a simple desktop scanner attached to my machine. So I'm going to load this document into the scanner, and now I'm going to go ahead and just click the scan button, which is going to feed the document through the scanner. I can see it going through now. And I can preview the document. You can rotate and do all that kind of image manipulation if you like. But in this case, I'm ready, so I'm just going to go ahead and click the Done button. This is going to OCR the document, so it's going to pull off the text so that I can full text index the document. And I'm just going to name this. And again, it pulls off the relevant information. I'm just going to tag this as legal. Go ahead and submit. So now we have a new legal folder here, and I can very easily click on it to view my scanned document. So continuing on with this scenario, let's say that because of this subpoena, we want to send an email to the lawyer, and we want to attach one of these loss reports here. So I'll just pick one of these, and let's say we want to email this to the lawyer. We can do that from directly within HPI. So we have an email action here, and go ahead and click it, and it'll automatically attach that loss report. Now we also can attach other documents as well. So let's say we want to attach the 18th loss report as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to, obviously here you would type in the lawyer's email address. I'm just going to send it to a test email address here. And we'll give it a subject. And then we can give it a attachment, or sorry, a email body. Go ahead and do that. Now if we like, we can add a folder note, which I'm going to skip at this point, but I'll just go ahead and send the email. So this is actually going to do a couple of things. The email itself is placed into the correspondence folder by default. So I see the new email item here. I can go ahead and click it. and I will see the email itself as well as the attached documents. So I can easily see what has been attached. And additionally, if I'm looking at the report, you can see the relationship from the other way. So if I look at this document, I can see what emails it has been attached to, which can be very useful for knowing, what's happened with a certain document, who it's been sent out to, and so forth. So another thing that that email action did was it added a folder note. So if I go here, I'll see that the folder note has been automatically recorded that I sent out this email. And if I click on this link here, I can actually jump quickly to the email itself. Folder notes, though, are open if you have the correct permission, so I could add a new note here if I like to add additional notes to the folder for other users that might be working in this claim. So let's say I want to just add a quick note here, so I could say something like claims something to the effect that our processing finished and we're waiting for legal review. So I'll go ahead and submit that. And now we have a new note on the folder. So let's say as I was doing this, I noticed some information on the policy that I might want to alert to another of my colleagues in the company. So I'm going to jump back to the policy, and I'll just actually jump right into it here, and I'm going to pull up the policy contract. And let's say I have a question about this policy and potentially that the policyholder should increase coverage. So I can do that by annotating on the policy. So I'm just going to launch Open Annotate here. And I have some annotation tools at the top. And let's say, I can do things like draw a circle and maybe an arrow. And a sticky note. So I'll go ahead and do that. And when I'm done, I can save. And now jumping back into HPI, I can see that the item is annotated. And I'm going to flip real quick over to using the Adobe plugin, and you'll see we can actually see the annotations embedded right in the window. So I've done that quickly, and if I just reload this contract, we can see it in the Adobe view. I can actually see these annotations right in the PDF here. So my next step is I want to send an alert. HPI has a send notification functionality that I can go ahead and click this. And let's say I want to send this to one of my colleagues. We'll send it to Jim and say, so we'll go ahead and write him an email and submit. So this notification is going to do a couple of things. It's going to send him an email, as well as if we log in as Jim. We see that he has a green notification icon. And if we go ahead and click it, he has a link right to the policy contract where he can see my annotations and follow up. That's it for this demo. Thanks for watching. For additional information, check out our website at tsgrp.com.